Hello and welcome to this edition of Indiana Court Times featuring our wonderful judges from across the state. I'm Catherine Dolan, the Indiana Supreme Court Public Information Officer, and I am so pleased to have with us today Judge Ryan Gardner, who is Marion Superior Court 10 judge. Judge, thank you for joining us and thank you for allowing us to feature you on Indiana Court Times. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
One of the things that I've heard from a lot of judges is that traffic court and family court are both really tough spots, really tough assignments, but you really enjoy family court. What is it about family court that you find so rewarding?
We deal with a lot of difficult situations. And I think, being in a position to not just hear the evidence and make rulings and do justice, but to be able to hear, to get to know these families, their children, hear the ups and downs that they're going through and try to find the best way to, maintain family integrity and keep that family together and work toward reunifying that family. I really do enjoy that. It's probably in all my career, probably one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done is to take a family that was, starts off in a bad place and ends where they're reunified with their child, they're sober, they're working, they have stable housing, putting that support network around them. I've always enjoyed that. And I think it's some of the most rewarding work in all of, our practice.
People have told you should be a motivational speaker, and I've heard you speak publicly, and definitely you do just sort of exude positivity. Is that something that you think is just your personality, or does that come across also on the bench?
I think it comes across on and off the bench for me. I've always been known for wearing a smile, and that tends to trickle down to the people around me. I often joke with the youth on my delinquency cases. They'll start off those cases, very hard exterior, don't trust anyone, angry at the world. Then toward the end, they've got this support network around them and they're starting to do well and been exposed to some different things. They have mentors. Oftentimes they have case managers going through counseling, therapy. They'll start to, smile toward the end of the case. And I have a running joke that I know the staff is probably tired of hearing, but they still get a kick out of it. But I always, I'll look over and I'll ask, is that a smile? And then I'll say, before today, I didn't know you had teeth. And it always draws a laugh from everybody, different kids.
So let's talk about something fun, music. You said you grew up in a household where music was always playing. You love music. Are you old school record collector, Apple, iTunes music? Tell us about your love of music.
I am a music fanatic. I always have been. My mother still has all of her old vinyl records to this day. She's been collecting those, before and during my childhood. She used to quiz me oftentimes, and I was probably the only 4 or 5-year-old who knew, the Spinners, the Four Tops, the Temptations, Patrice Rushen. I could tell you everybody's, the names of the artists and the songs that they sang. I love old school music, anything from the 70s through the early 2000s. I love rhythm and blues and jazz. I don't play an instrument, but it's funny, my love for music passed down to my children. I've got 3 boys, 14, 9, and 6. And if you ask them today, they will harmonize Love's Train by Confunction. It is hilarious to hear it, particularly a 9 and a 6-year-old singing about, that's the way it goes on Love's Train. I'm like, you need to stick with Thomas the Train. You know nothing about Love's Train. So I've always loved music. It's, music is powerful. It is very calming for me. In my free time, I listen to it all of the time and just kind of, sit back and relax and just kind of regroup. And music's always been, been a part of my life. And if I had to pick something new to, maybe recommend, I would probably say anything by Bruno Mars, Snow Allegra. Some of the things that I still listen to that are older. One of my favorite albums of all time is The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. because it has so much, in it. So she was such a diverse artist with so many talents. She could act, she had a beautiful voice, so she could sing, and she was, very skillful on the microphone, so she could rap as well. And that album has everything in it. We got hip hop, jazz, rhythm and blues, funk. It was all in there. So I still listen to her album to this day.
An artist of all season, a man of all seasons. Thank you so much, Your Honor, for joining us for this edition of Indiana Court Times Sidebar Edition. So thrilled to have you and appreciate you taking the time to share a little bit about yourself. If you'd like to learn more about Indiana's judiciary and the other judges across the state, just log on to courts.in.gov.
Thank you, Catherine.